Greetings, fellow Earthlings. So today I had read a magazine. It's about a science collection, and it's quite, it reinforces this idea that science is a particularly interesting subject. And basically, it begins with analyzing if an asteroid is going to hit Earth, is like the Earth's defenses against it. Anyway, it's the magazine collection is quite awesome. And now let's get back to the writing prompt. So today, the writing prompt. So for example, as you can see, I wrote while bobbing your head to Ado's Gira, which is like a song which is by a Japanese artist, a Japanese singer, which is really thrilling, exhilarating. It just gets your blood pumping, something like that. Really great. And then you're mobile buzzed. So we are establishing someone who is listening to music and he's like, having a mobile phone, something like that. And then the notifications came flooding in. Hastily glancing at your screen, your computer running simulations had come up with something. So if you have ever done like a research and you left your computer at the laboratory or in the office, just running like simulations or like compilations of all the data. And so basically, I'm just saying something had come up while analyzing certain database, and then this something that had come up might be the key, might be the breakthrough. So that's like a joyful occasion. But then the joy is short-lived, as you found someone had penetrated your self-made mobile firewall. Mobile security is something that we have to be very careful about, because there are softwares out there that are monitoring everything that we're doing. Because if you think about this, your mobile phone has what? Microphones? It has GPS. And so basically, if someone had hacked your phone, they might just tap into what you are doing, what you're saying, like who you are communicating with. And all of your probably like emails or social media texts and basically like daily interactions, everything can be monitored. So this is another writing prompt that won't get a lot of upvotes, but it is something that I'm interested in. So and as a writer, we have to write, we have to read a lot of books. Basically, we have to have this input and output. Everything that we consume is somehow going to, like the information that we consume or the nutrients or the food that we consume is going to become a part of us or part of our consciousness or our psyche. So you can see there are numerous, like millions, and maybe not millions, but tens of thousands of books about writing, and on each minute detail of writing as well. So you can see there are books about like description and setting, characters, emotions, and viewpoints, the art of writers, plot and structure, and then the negative traits, series, and conflict and suspense, and also the psychology workbook for writers. Writing can be a particularly, like lonely process. And it is like time consuming. It is quite, to put it simply, quite difficult. Not really like in terms of having a physical difficulty. No, it's much more like a mental difficulty and the lack of practice or the lack of utility or the free or the versatile usage of words and their structures. And so we can through writing practices, like writing a ton, basically, if you write something like for 1,000,000 words, your skills are gradually going to become, you're honing your skills, becoming much more adapted at the skill of writing. And then you can also see the body series. So basically, how are you going to write body movements? How are you going to describe a specific feeling? There are all different kinds of tutorials and books out there. A lot of YouTube videos as well as masterclass videos. So basically, if we want to become an outputter, like we want to create these kinds of cultural distillations. So basically, that means that we are constraining, no, not constraining, we are basically creating a concentrated version of everything that we had learned, of our own cultural background and our collective, our consciousness, while writing, while creating a piece of writing that for the public audience. So basically, like we have to, just have whatever. If you just think about the actors, and there are different schools of acting, and then there are also like different styles of writing. It just depends on. So everything that we do is like, first we mimic, right? We are copying our parents' movements, and then we gradually adapt those movements as our own. And then how are we learning like language? Through listening and mimicking, right? The mouth movements and how the position of the tongue. How are we supposed to make precise words? That. Anyway, just consume as much content as possible. But the content, like anything, like for example, if you consider the Wagyu beef from Japan, there are different grades for them. And then the writing or the content, there are also grades for them as well. So it just depends on if you're going to find the best quality content that you can find from like posts from in forums or in Goodreads. There are people who had already made the collection or created the collection or book list for all those great books for you to read as a writer. So basically we can just, make use of those resources out there. Like sometimes when you're browsing the writing prompt subreddit, of the like hot posts, you can't find something that you're interested in. So then you can just filter it by like new posts. So when you're filtering like by new posts, basically you are making a much more riskier investment, and you're much more likely to do not get a return from your investment, because you can't tell if a new post is going to get upvotes. That's the dilemma, perhaps. So today's writing prompt is like in an office space, and my clumsy secretary has misinterpreted my calling for more ethically diverse working space. And so I'm just thinking of like a space exploration, and since the new recruits for the office members are supervillains, then like they're basically out there exploring new multiverses. So you basically I'm just like trying to add in certain elements, and that's it. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.